Hello, Wonderhussy here, getting ready to shoot the photos for my 2025 calendar. My, how time flies. It seems like only yesterday I was shooting the photos for my 2024 calendar, but this year I decided to do something a little different from my calendar, okay? You might be able to tell that I'm not at the Death Valley compound anymore. No, sir, I'm up in the historic semi-ghost town of Goldfield, Nevada, staying in this beautiful vintage Airbnb. That's right, it's called the Ish House, named after a guy named Milton Ish, who was one of the original pioneers who settled Goldfield. And so this awesome guy bought the old Ish House and fixed it up absolutely beautifully, period authentic to what it must have looked like in 1907 when Milton Ish and his beautiful wife Evelyn lived here. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like on the inside. Now, you might be wondering why a silver 4Runner is parked here. Did I get a new Toyota? Well, no, you can see my Toyota is parked right in front of this silver 4Runner, which just happens to belong to my good buddy, who also happens to be an excellent photographer, Jessica. That's right, Jessica, the same gal who shot the photos for my calendar last year and did an awesome job. Well, she agreed to come up here and stay in this historic-ish house and do my calendar again this year. And I think she's inside the kitchen here making something to eat before we head out to shoot today's photos. Now, we got here yesterday, and on the way up we stopped and shot a few different looks along the way. We stopped at the Steampunk Casino in Beatty and did a really cool steampunk pinup. And then we stopped at a couple more places out in the desert, sort of between Beatty and here. And we got here late last night when it was really too dark to film anything. So I decided I'd do a quick tour of the house before we head out today so you can see how beautiful this place is. Now, the Ish House has actually been divided into more than one Airbnb. There's the first floor suite, which is where we're staying, and it's got 2 bedrooms, so it's big enough for both of us. But there's also 5 more rooms up this mysterious staircase. Man, you can really tell this house was built in 1907, back in the days when Goldfield was booming. That's right, believe it or not, at one time, Goldfield was the biggest city in Nevada. There was 20,000 people living here back in the 19-teens because of all the gold in them there hills surrounding it. But after a fire in 1923, well, the town just kind of started to dry up. And that's why, well, today I call it a semi-ghost town. You're not scared, are you? Man, the guy who redid this Airbnb did such an amazing job decorating it. I mean, everything is period authentic, right down to the wainscoting and the wallpaper and the photos on the wall of miners and prospectors. And I think some of these are actual residents of old Goldfield. This guy who bought the Ish House fixed it up, or is in the process of fixing it up, and he rents it out as an Airbnb. And so up here, there's 5 different bedrooms and a dedicated bathroom. But Jessica and I decided to stay on the first floor because, well, it just seemed easier. And when you see it, you'll understand why. Okay, let's go check out the first floor suite. Oh, good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
Making some breakfast?
I am. I'm actually packing a little light lunch to take with us on our shoot today in this beautiful kitchen.
Oh yeah, this kitchen is amazing. I mean, look at this. Vintage wood-burning stove. Beautiful. I mean, it has all the modern conveniences that you could want, but, you know. Oh, even this stove is cool. Look at that. You look like you're on The Price is Right. Anyway, it's a great space, but it's hardly the fanciest room on the first floor suite of the Ish House. Let me show you. Okay, so we'll leave Jessica to her breakfast preparation. Over here on the right, I guess we'll go right first, is the bathroom. You can see there's really cool vintage, well, let me turn the light on. Kind of vintage plumbing and a really cool old clawfoot bathtub that had excellent hot water and excellent water pressure. So even if you might have some reservations about staying in a historic old house, well, there are some quirks with this place, but the plumbing isn't one of them. Okay, so back through the kitchen this way. Now we're in this beautiful formal dining room. Look how beautifully they appointed this thing. They have the table set for a fancy dinner, just as if Milton and Evelyn-ish were about to host a dinner party back in 1908, 09. I'm not sure how long they lived in this house, but isn't this amazing? Actually, we're gonna do a seance in this room. I mean, if there was ever a room fit for a seance, this is it. And, well, Jessica got the vibes that this place possibly is haunted. I mean, look, there's a buffalo head on the wall. There's a skull on the sideboard. Oh, there's even an entire skeleton in this supremely creepy old baby's crib, which, by the way, behind the skeleton, I don't know if you can see that, it's an old christening outfit. Some little baby that was christened here in Goldfield back in the day. You know, it's just those kinds of touches that make a place exceptional. And I'm pretty sure Jessica agrees with me. You like creepy stuff, right?
100%.
So how did you feel staying here last night? Did you feel the presence of anything creepy?
So I felt really good down here. Upstairs was a little bit iffy for me. The one thing that did happen, I had a door open.
A door opened mysteriously. Yeah. And it wasn't just any door. I can't believe I walked right past this thing without showing you guys. There happens to be a super duper creepy basement. What would you call it?
A root cellar. I don't know.
Check this out. Okay, I can't believe I forgot to show you guys this. Back through the kitchen, down this staircase. Oh, it doesn't look so creepy in the daytime. When we came down here last night in the dark, it was pretty spooky. But in the light of day, it's just a really cool historic old basement. I mean, you can see this is the foundation of the house. You can see how solidly this house was constructed, and that's probably why it's still standing to this day. Jessica, you said you still think it's creepy even in the light of day? Well, not a problem, because there's 2 bedrooms upstairs, so neither one of us has to sleep in the creepy basement, which, by the way, I don't know if you can see what's on the door there behind me. It's kind of hard to make out because of the glare, but look, a very faint skull and crossbones.
And that was the door that was open this morning.
Yikes! Okay, that would be kind of creepy. And this door does latch firmly-ish. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it just popped open on its own. Yeah. But guess what? I did bring a Ouija board. So when we do our seance, we can try to communicate with anybody who lived in this house. Maybe Milton or Evelyn herself will answer us.
Some of the boarders from upstairs.
Yeah, oh, we don't know. I guess they were renting these upstairs rooms out to minors in the area. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a brothel. If it was a brothel, I feel like it would say so in the stuff that came with the house. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the house because we got to get out of here and go shoot these photos. Okay, so there's 2 bedrooms. I'm staying in this one here in the front. This is a very manly room. You can see there's rifles on the wall. I guess those are deer head, steer horns, and a really, really comfy bed. And check this out. Not only is there this amazing vintage wood-burning stove in the room, but look at these old military jackets. I guess the guy who owns this house is kind of a collector of antiques. So, you know, besides all the stuffed animal heads and baby cribs and skeletons, there's also a really old Navy uniform and a really cool old leather bomber jacket. I mean, this has to be from like the 1940s. Isn't that amazing? Pretty cool. So this is my bedroom. Jessica's staying in the other bedroom. By the way, right behind this beautiful Wurlitzer jukebox, I mean, there's a piano flanked by 2 badass vintage jukeboxes underneath this buffalo head. That's the kind of place this is, y'all. And check this out. Look at this old radio here. It actually works. Okay, better turn it off before I get dinged for a copyright violation. Anyway, here's the room Jessica was staying in, and There's a head on the wall, you might notice, of a really fierce looking warthog. And he kind of has a, well, not too happy expression on his face. So Jessica decided to dress her up. She decided it was a female warthog with a little piece of lace to sort of make her seem less threatening. And, well, she said she slept just fine in here. But yeah, aside from the warthog head, I mean, look at this really cool old vintage armoire. There's a really cool old vintage wood burning stove in here. All the details that this guy went to are really impressive. I mean, everything's nice. Even the little rugs are fancy. There's this amazing vintage bar in the dining room. Look at this. This looks straight out of some old saloon. I don't know where this guy got all this beautiful furniture. I mean, that is heavy duty. And I mean, this dining table too, these chairs, everything in here is just super duper nice. And I can't wait to come back here after our shoot today and cuddle up with a nice cup of hot cocoa spiked with bourbon or something manly, befitting a manly room like the one I'm staying in. I mean, if you didn't believe me that it's manly, 12 reasons handguns are better than women. Number 1, you can buy a silencer for a handgun. Okay, I could spend all day poking around all the oddities in this house, but guess what? Daylight is a fading fast. We gotta get out there because we want to try to shoot 3 more looks for my calendar today. So I'd better get my hair together and get on the road. I guess they don't like my outfit. I feel like Teddy Roosevelt in this bedroom. It is a really cozy bed, but unfortunately, I gotta get up and get myself together for our last day of shooting. That's right, we finally got almost all the pictures shot. Just a few more looks to do today. And then my sister and another one of our girlfriends are coming to join us for a girls' weekend in Goldfield. Because this house has all those extra bedrooms upstairs, I figured I might as well invite at least a couple girlfriends to come up here and enjoy this amazing experience with us. So there's 5 extra bedrooms up here and then a shared bathroom. But I'm gonna go ahead and open 2 of them up. Let's see what's behind door number 1, Bob. Wow, very cozy. Oh gosh, look at that. Don't you just love sleeping on a bed in an attic room? There's just something about sleeping under that sloped roofline that feels exceptionally cozy. And then of course there's all the modern amenities, including a television, a refrigerator, a microwave, and a coffee maker. This house may be over 100 years old, but they have all the modern conveniences. Okay, now let's see what's behind door number 2. Wow, look at that. Beautiful windows looking out at the mean streets of Goldfield. And look at this. It's one of those really cool old-timey desks, like on Little House on the Prairie. Remember on Little House on the Prairie? They sat like this, and then the person behind them, that was their desk, and then that little hole there was for the inkwell. Okay, back then they didn't have ballpoint pens. They had to use pen and ink wells. And so wasn't like Nellie Olson, like the little bitch girl, sitting there with her braids hanging down her back, and the boy behind her dipped the end of her pigtail in the inkwell, and so when she got up, she got ink all over the back of her pretty little dress, and didn't it just serve that nasty girl right? I just think it's super cool that they included quirky, historic details like that, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn on this non-historic heater so that the room warms up in time for the other gal's arrival. Okay, I told them to get here around 4:30, 5 o'clock, because we should be done shooting by then, and then we can just enjoy ourselves and go out and have some drinks at some of the local taverns. But first, I'd better put my face together so we can take the rest of these pictures. How do I look? Photo ready? Jessica, we did it!
Yeah!
We finished the calendar shoot, and now it's time to have fun. After 4 solid days of work, Jessica and I were definitely ready to blow off some steam. So once my sister and our friend Nicole arrived, Goldfield Girls Weekend was on. First, we bundled up in our warmest clothes and headed out to enjoy the local nightlife. After a stop at the Mozart Tavern, we checked out the Santa Fe Saloon, a cozy, small-town hangout said to be the oldest continuously operating bar in Nevada that was full of fascinating historic artifacts like the bathtub of a famous Virginia City courtesan named Julia Boulette, and a license plate that once belonged to Beverly Harrell, madam of the Cottontail Ranch. Then it was back to the house for something to eat. Because Goldfield is so small, there isn't much in the way of dining. But Nicole had planned ahead and brought all the fixins for Frito pie, which, of course, we served in the formal dining room with the finest champagne. And then it was time for the seance. Because the Ish house is allegedly haunted, we thought it would be fun to dim the lights, put on some spooky music, and see what kind of spirits we could contact. But the only spirits around seemed to be the ones we'd ordered at the bar. So after a few tries, we gave up and went to bed so that we'd be well rested for the rest of our weekend in Goldfield. One of the nicest features of the Ish house is the sunny wraparound porch. The perfect place to sit and drink your morning coffee while planning your day's adventures in this fascinating, historic... Oh my God, we haven't even left the house yet. But there's so much interesting stuff going on here. Oh, so this is the town mascot.
Yes.
Oh, look at her. How cool is that? Sir, what's your name?
I'm John Orrick.
Oh, you run the Dragon-Ass Burro Sanctuary? Oh, God bless you. We were just reading about your organization in our, the materials they had in our Airbnb. It's a she, honey. Oh, hi, honey. What a beauty. I don't have any food for you. She's a baby. Aww. Uh-oh, my sister wants a donkey. So she's kind of like an ambassador for your organization?
Pretty much, yeah. And she's just, she draws people in for photo ops.
Well, I bet she does. Now, is it true what we heard that their eyes aren't reflective in a car's headlight? And so it's easier to hit them. Oh my God. Wow, that is so cool. They rescue burros from the area. There's a lot of wild burros up here from, I guess, descendants of the old mining days, the old prospectors' burros. And sometimes their population grows to be kind of a nuisance because their eyes don't reflect at night. They're easy to hit on the road when you're driving in the dark. There's not a lot of street lights here. And so the BLM comes in and does roundups periodically. But these guys in the Dragon-Ass Sanctuary are taking as many in as they can and caring for them. So how much does it cost to take care of these guys?
Well, we have close to 70 animals, and it runs between $2,000 to $3,000 a month,
Just for the feed?
just in feed.
I believe it. These little guys can get by eating just about anything, which is how they've managed to survive in the Mojave Desert all these years, and which is also why most of the burros you see are nothing but skin and bones. So the lucky ones who get rescued, like Honey, are super hungry, and probably eat a ton. But the Dragon-Ass Burro Sanctuary is a 501c3 nonprofit, so if you'd like to help feed them, I'll put the link to their website in the description to this video. Wow! Who'd have thought there were so many interesting things to do in Goldfield? And they didn't even mention the Santa Claus pub crawl that's going on 30 miles up the road in Tonopah. So we're gonna go check that out, but first, well, we're gonna walk around downtown Goldfield just a little bit to see what's going on this beautiful Saturday morning. Aside from random guys walking their pet donkeys down the road. Hey y'all, are you ready to go explore Goldfield? Let's go, girls. Woo! All joking aside, for a tiny town in the middle of nowhere, there's a lot of cool stuff to explore in Goldfield. Unlike most Nevada mining towns, which were mostly just a collection of tents and shacks left to crumble back into the desert when the mine went bust, the gold mines here were productive enough to justify the construction of actual multi-story buildings that are still standing today. Remember, there were 20,000 people living here just over 100 years ago, and they left a lot behind. Wow, look at this. The old historic Goldfield Hotel is for sale. If you ever wanted to own a historic, allegedly haunted hotel, here's your chance. Oh, wow, yeah, look at that. Wouldn't that be fun to roller skate in? Oh my God. I mean, it really is an amazing building with a lot of potential, so anybody who's got pockets deep enough, call him. Okay, here's the old bank. My sister said there's something cool in here. Let's see. Oh, wow. Look at, was a bar in the bank? Why don't they do that nowadays? I'd love it if there was a bar at my bank. Okay, apparently it's not just a bar in this bank that's cool. My sister said there's something else amazing in here. Oh my gosh, look at that. Golden radiators. Boy, talk about the Gilded Age. I guess they had so much money during the boom years of this town that they just wanted to show it off and cover everything with a thin veneer of gold. Okay, so Nicole here is from Manhattan, and this is her first trip to Goldfield. What do you think?
I think it's really cool. It's really interesting to see all this architecture in the middle of the desert that I'm used to seeing in Boston and New York.
Yeah, I mean, this, as far as mining towns go, there aren't usually this big of buildings left standing, so
Yeah.
gosh, it probably, in a way, does look like some of them big fancy towns back east, because the miners, that's where they came from, and they probably wanted to try to build this up to look like...
They emulated the success they saw back east.
Right! Okay, if you watched the video I made where I came to the Goldfield Days Festival, well, you might recognize this building because this is the old assay office that they've turned into an Airbnb that I stayed in. Hi, Steve! Steve, we love your assay office Airbnb, but will you show us what you got cooking now?
You bet.
Look at that. He's going to restore this. I mean, this thing's got to be at, like, what, 150 years old?
It's one of the original cabins. It's 1904. Got all the old doors.
The original door jams. Look at that. For 120
Doors.
years later.
And the windows.
Oh my
and,
gosh, look. Oh, he saved all the old window frames.
Oh, God, yeah. We'll
Oh,
put
look
it
at
back
that.
originally.
Oh, what a pretty view out that window.
I really like the
Wow, yeah, having seen what you did with the assay office, I have no doubt this is going to be really, really nice. Okay, this very kind gentleman here just gave us directions. What's your name, sir?
Tim Little.
Tim, but his license plate says Old Grump.
Old grumpy Tim Little.
Okay, so this old Ford truck, what kind of truck is this?
1972 Ford.
72 Ford. Look at the license plate on that.
3/4 ton.
Iron Maiden, too. Are you a metalhead?
Yes, ma'am.
Right on. Wow. Wow, there are so many interesting and nice people in this town that I feel like I could walk around all day just having conversations and looking at the fruits of their restorative labor. Like this beautifully restored private residence. I'm not sure what's going on with that building. And there's no time to wonder about it because we gotta get to Tonopah for the Santa Claus pub crawl. Okay, by a stroke of luck, there just happened to be a Santa-themed pub crawl going on in the nearby town of Tonopah that weekend. And since we'd already maxed out both bars in Goldfield the previous night, And because we'll take any chance we can get to wear a costume, we headed up the highway to check it out. What's your costume, Jessica?
Krampus.
Krampus.
Hide your kids.
Oh, dang. The pub crawl started at the beautifully restored historic Mizpah Hotel, which, just like the Santa Fe Saloon in Goldfield, is home to an amazing collection of historical artifacts. From there, the pub crawl took us to a series of participating bars and local businesses, each serving a special Christmas cocktail. Even the hardware store. It was a hoot and a half. Let me tell you something. These mining town folks really know how to party. But one of the most interesting stops of the night was across the street from the Mizpah at the recently reopened Belvada. Another beautifully restored turn-of-the-century hotel that just happens to offer ghost tours of its haunted basement. Okay, so we're going to go down in the basement of the Belvada with our ghost tour hostess. What's your name, ma'am?
Siobhan.
Siobhan, thank you for taking us down to the basement. It's going to be exciting.
An elevator in the desert.
Once we were deep underground in the bowels of Tonopah, things got pretty interesting, just from a historical standpoint alone. But Siobhan also had an app on her phone that allowed her to communicate with any spirits who might be present. I guess Ouija boards are hopelessly 1900s. Necrometer.
Whoa.
Oh, is this an app?
Yeah, this is an app.
Necrometer. Oh my god. How do I not have this? Jessica, how do you not have this app? Jessica, you feel like some spirits here?
I felt it before I even walked in here. It just
Uh-oh.
you just feel like, and heavy was the exact word that I would use. It just
It's
feels
Heavy duty.
Yeah.
It's like that guy who had the Iron Maiden license plate earlier today.
Not heavy like that.
So have you had an experience where you just felt unsafe and had to get out?
Yeah,
The
multiple
training,
times.
like-
The training day when the spirit tried to attach to me, I had to leave.
You had to leave.
And the minute my feet hit the stairs, I started crying. It was.
But you
intense.
still came back down here?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Good job.
If people watching this want to come take a paranormal tour, how do they contact you?
You can contact us via the website or call the hotel and they'll give you
Oh,
contact
wow.
information.
Okay, you heard it here. If you're into paranormal stuff, you gotta check out one of these ghost tours. Siobhan did a great job, and she even gave us some helpful advice on our way out. Okay, so when we leave, there's something we have to say?
Yes. So when you leave this basement, you say you do not have permission to follow me. Please stay here.
All right. Unfortunately, our stay here at the fabulous historic Ish House is coming to an end. It's Sunday morning, and all the taxidermied animals and skeletons are half asleep and probably a little hungover, just like we are. But that pub crawl was super fun. In fact, everything we did here this weekend was super fun, super interesting. That being said, there's a couple more things we want to check out before we leave Goldfield, and in fact, before we leave the Ish House. Okay, when we were in Tonopah last night, getting that awesome tour of the basement of the Belvada, the woman who led us on the ghost tour had this app that you can use to communicate with the spirits. And so Jessica downloaded that app. Are you going to take it into the
Yeah.
no-go zone?
I'm gonna go into the no-go zone. All right, let's see what happens.
Jessica took her new necrometer app down into the basement and all over the Ish House, and she did pick up some activity by the old baby's crib. But lucky for us, apparently they were friendly spirits because nothing bothered us the entire time we stayed there. Okay, so we didn't see any ghosts, but we had a great time. It's sad to leave the house, but like I said, there's a couple more things we want to check out in Goldfield before we leave. Okay, this is kind of a funky little antique secondhand store that we met the woman who operates it last night at the pub crawl, and she invited us to come by and have a look inside. Hi. What's your name, miss?
I'm Adrienne.
Adrienne, and you run this shop?
Yes, the Rusty Cove Boutique.
Okay, I met Adrienne at the pub crawl last night.
Yes.
How's your hangover, Adrienne?
I'm hanging on to it.
Yeah, you look great. Oh, and who's this?
Oh, Jerry.
Jerry, and is this...
Owner of the spread.
So you own the store and you kind of manage it, or? Okay, cool. So it's a good partnership.
Yes.
Okay, so come to find out, the Rusty Cove isn't really a second-hand store. It's more of a boutique that sells all kinds of fun stuff. Cute, comfy clothing, funky crafts, and antique knickknacks, and jewelry. You make jewelry, Adrienne?
Yes.
Can we see your jewelry?
The hammered brass that's in this.
Oh, so this is all hammered brass that was made by Adrienne. Oh gosh, beautiful. Look at those little stars. Okay, we got some goodies from the boutique. And now Jerry is gonna be so kind as to show us one of the Airbnbs she manages here. Okay, so these are your little Airbnb cabins here.
Yeah, and this cabin here was brought in from the red light district.
From the red light
2
district.
blocks that way.
So this was a prostitute's house or what?
Yeah. So
What would they call it, a crib?
they call it the crib.
So you can stay in a restored historic prostitute's crib. Oh, these are so cute. Look at how cozy this room is. So this is what a prostitute would have lived in and operated out of, but now you've got it all done up.
We have it all done. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. No, I'm sure it was way rougher, but oh my gosh, look how nice wow, you did a great job with this little cozy little room. Oh, look at the little vanity. I love this. Wow, Jerry, thank you for showing
you're welcome.
us this. I'm definitely coming back and staying here sometime. This was an old gas station office from Fallon, Nevada. Oh, so this is like kind of like a bathhouse. Got the washboard, wash tub. Oh, look at just to that one cabin. Super cool. And so this is listed on Airbnb as
the crib.
the crib. Of course it is. Wow. Thank you so much for your hospitality. I love meeting you. I look forward to coming back again many times. Loved it, Jerry. I look forward to the next time I see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Come back anytime. You guys are all welcome.
Yay! Wow, these women were so nice and they had such amazing hospitality. I hated to leave, but there's one more stop we want to make before leaving Goldfield, because it just wouldn't be a girls' weekend without some kind of spa treatment, Nevada style. Hey, cheers to Goldfield and to the Ish House.